And that's that book. Which, definitely some good lessons in there. Learned some new ones, reinforced some other ones. Hoping that everyone out there listening learned something from that too. And if you did, and you want to give the podcast some support, chiboha, then here's how you can do it.
And support yourself, by the way.
Actually, could be the more important thing.
I think so. Yes.
I think it's the more important thing.
Yeah, man. Because, like on the plane, right? You know, the oxygen mask?
Oxygen's coming down.
Bro,
that's right.
You can't just start putting the mask on your kid.
No.
What if you suffocate?
Yep.
Can't help nobody. So you got to support yourself.
Help yourself first. You can't support what we're doing here if you're not on the path.
Exactly, right? Yeah, exactly.
That's the primary thing.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
So, to begin, a good way. Let's start with origin. Fitting name for the way to begin the support. Get it? Origin. Layers.
Yes.
In the industry, we call those layers. Anyway, origin. This is what origin is. It is a American-made company that delivers American-made products. Starting with gis, jiu-jitsu gis. For jiu-jitsu. Not just generic gis with a name on it.
Yeah, not that.
No.
Not generic gis.
I'm telling you, that's something.
These aren't the kind of gis where you'd be like, hey, you know what? I think I'm going to go down to the market right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to put on my gi. Maybe if you're doing that, you maybe don't need an origin gi. You get whatever gi to go down to the market in. But if you're doing jiu-jitsu with your gi, we recommend you go with the origin gi, which is made in America, which is awesome.
The cotton is grown in America.
Yes, grown here. American hands. People are working. People are working in Maine. We're bringing that back. So, get those. And rash guards as well.
Yeah.
Woven material here.
Yeah, they kind of got everything. They got, regular clothes as well. Joggers, sweatsuits, whatnot.
I was having a discussion, which I'm not going to go into, but I will go into this part of the discussion. I was having a discussion with someone that was like, basically telling me like, well, in this business is hard. Mm-hmm. What we do is hard in this business. Mm-hmm. They were trying to tell me that what they were doing in this business was hard. Yeah. I was like, hey, it's not that hard. What you're doing, and trust me, what they're doing is not that hard. Trust me, there's some businesses, I work with a lot of different businesses. There's some complex businesses out there in the world, really complex. The business in particular that I was talking to, that I was having this discussion with, that was telling me how hard their business was, what does that sound like to you? When someone's like, oh, it's really hard. That's an excuse. Of course, hey, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it, right? Yeah. So, it's really hard. This business is really hard. And I was like, you want to talk about hard? I'm like, try getting an ancient loom up and running and weaving material that hasn't been done in 40 years here in America. Weaving, there's 8 million little threads going into this thing. Try sorting that out. Don't tell me your business is hard.
Yeah, that seems hard.
That's hard. But it's being done right here in America.
Yeah, big
at Origin.
Yeah, really good stuff on there. Also, supplements. Jocko supplements. Okay, joint warfare, krill oil, and discipline, and Molk. So consider these 4. They all kind of play into each other. Joint warfare, obviously, warfare against degeneration of joints. Not against your joints. It's for the joints. It's your joints waging war on degeneration.
Yeah, anyway, good point.
However you want to spin it. Nonetheless, it's for your joints. Krill oil, same thing. Omega-3s, really good for general health as well. If you like protein supplements, Molk. See what I did there? I didn't call it protein powder.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. It's very understated too, which I'm down with. You can understate it.
Yeah.
Because the bottom line is if you like delicious things in the world, you're going to like Molk.
Yeah. So Molk is not peanut butter. It's going to be peanut butter chocolate.
Peanut butter.
Yeah.
Those are inbound.
Yeah. Someone sent me a picture, tweet. I think it's on Twitter. One hand chocolate milk jug, other hand Molk. He said, I'm going to take it for the team, do the experiment. Remember? I said, mix the Molk with chocolate milk, see what up.
Okay.
Might be too chocolatey. What
was the deal? What was
I don't know. He just said he was going to do it. He didn't report back yet. Not yet.
That's kind of
He just indicated he was commencing with the experiment.
That's kind of jacked up. We will have Molk at the immersion camp, Jiu-Jitsu immersion camp, August 26th through September 2nd, up in Maine on Echo Lake, Layers. So come up and hang out with me, with Leif, with Echo, with Dave Burke. Still not 100% on JP. But yeah, we're going to be up there in Maine doing jiu-jitsu.
And hanging out.
Oh, and Dean Lister.
Oh, yeah.
No big deal. Dean Lister.
And Andy's going too.
It looks like Andy's going.
Andy Burke.
Yep, Andy Burke's going to be going. So we'll be all just training and getting after it.
And hanging out. Here's the thing. It doesn't sound as dope when we're hanging out, but here's the thing. It is ultimately.
Well, yeah, because you can only do jiu-jitsu. How many hours a day can you do jiu-jitsu?
Well, depends on who you are.
8?
Obviously.
Call it 8?
We'll call it 8.
So 8 and 8. So 8 hours. Then you sleep for 8 hours.
Right.
What does that leave you?
8 more. So
8 more hours. You got to fill those
8 hours of
with
hanging
something.
out, man.
That's 8 hours of hanging out. 8 hours of cruising? Are we cruising? Is that a cruising scenario?
Oh, big time. Yeah, I'll be cruising. Big time if I'm not doing the jiu-jitsu. Actually, so I'll be halfway in jiu-jitsu, halfway out.
'Cause you got the injury.
Limited jiu-jitsu.
Limited
Not
jiu-jitsu.
too limited, but we'll just say limited. Anyway, yes. Yes, August 26th to September 2nd, is it?
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Also, good way to support is go to jockostore.com. That's right. Jocko has a store. It's called Jocko Store. Anyway, it's where you can get t-shirts, rash guards, hoodies, hats, all these stuff, products, we'll say, that we put out. Discipline Equals Freedom shirts. What's the new one? What did I put on there that's new? Oh.
Is there a new Discipline Equals Freedom shirt? Is that up yet?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
It's not up yet.
It will be up in a couple weeks?
It'll be up in a couple, maybe even 1 week. So it could be up technically by the time
So it's up.
this hits the
So
waves.
it's up.
It's up. All right,
It's
cool.
up. The
Boom.
new shirt is up.
Yeah, Discipline Equals Freedom, new one. But yeah, if you want to represent, go there, jockostore.com.
Oh, use the word represent. I like that.
Okay. Good, there it is. Boom. I think it's the new one is take the high ground, or the high ground will take you.
That's a fact.
Something like that.
Check.
Unless if you actually have an email list, right? And I don't really talk about this. I offer it. I didn't want it to be an annoying thing. You know how sometimes you go to a website, it'll pop up in your face and you can't move
Sign up,
forward.
sign up.
Yeah, So, I try not to do
Because
that.
people want to, they actually use the word, they want to capture.
Capture,
You
yeah.
want to capture your email.
Yeah. Technically, yeah, I don't want to capture.
We're so out of the
anyone's-
game, actually,
well,
when you think about it. We're just not in the game.
Well, I
the whole
considered
thing.
it like you just said, like how even your tone indicated how you feel when a pop up with a form, comes in. It's kind of like when you let's say you go on a first date with someone and they give you like a contract or something. It's kind of like, hey, sign this before we can take any steps forward with what we already planned we were doing, by the way. Anyway, side note, we do have an email like you can put your email and sign up for the email list if you want, and it's there, it's accessible. I think it's on the bottom if I'm not mistaken, on the other website on the side. Anyway, it's there. It will not be a pop up. In here,
Ever.
ever. And furthermore, if you sign up for that, you won't get the daily, this and that and this and that and this every day. Because let's face it, okay, I signed up for, I think it was Bud K, it's called. It's like knives and stuff. They're just cool knives. So I signed up for that one, and every single day, man, I'm getting the thing. I'm like, cool. The first day, I'm like, cool, that's cool. Second day, I'm like, cool, that's cool. Kind of the same thing as you sent me yesterday, whatever. Daily, man, daily. So that feeling I got, I don't want other people to have that feeling about Jocko Store. So anyway, you can sign up for the email list if you want. And what I will send you every 4 months, if ever, I'll send you an email that says like, okay, if there's a new shirt that everyone was requesting, you know how like take the high road or the high road will take you. Like so many people were emailing me saying, hey, we should do this one, do this shirt. So it's kind of that, it's like everyone's input. Okay, new shirt, boom, I'll email everybody. Okay, this is a new shirt. It's like that kind of stuff, and it's very rare.
Check.
I
And
don't want it to
you've
be
gotten
rare.
input through it before too. I remember one time you asked for colors or whatever.
Right, yes. So yeah, that kind of stuff. It won't be annoying stuff like, hey, 3 things that you don't care about. Click, I won't do that stuff ever.
Check.
Nonetheless, that's what's going on. JockoStore.com if you want to represent, get some stuff. Good way to support.
Also, subscribe to the podcast, this podcast, iTunes, wherever, Google Play, Stitcher, leave reviews and all that stuff. And also, if you didn't know, we got the Warrior Kid podcast, which, you might not think that you would listen to it, But if you got kids, definitely they'll dig it. And good podcast to listen to. Lately I've been telling stories from Uncle Jake, from when Uncle Jake was a kid. Uncle Jake is sharing stories of his childhood that have little lessons in them.
Big lessons.
Yeah, even big lessons. But they're not. They're stories.
Yep.
And that's been kind of the direction. The last couple podcasts have had a story from Uncle Jake. Mm-hmm. Story from Uncle Jake that we can all learn from. So that is the Warrior Kid podcast. I answer some questions from Warrior Kids, and then they're short too. They're like 20 minutes because kids should not be sitting around listening to a 4-hour podcast. We only do that because we gotta like work to do, commute, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yard work.
Yeah, it's good. It's kind of good for the parents. Actually, really good for the parents and teachers, by the way.
No, I've gotten great feedback from parents and teachers. Absolutely,
because it's like
awesome.
These I mean, a lot of their questions, the Q&A, kids' questions. You know, they send in and you answer them eloquently. I might add.
Uncle Jake's pretty eloquent.
Yeah, I like to think so for sure. But you know, in real life, these kids ask their parents these questions or the teacher. You know, and sometimes, you know, maybe the teacher on the spot, maybe is busy or maybe they don't know or something like that. So like, you know, I see it. I know that I do it for myself when I listen to it. I'm like, okay, boom. Because I've heard that question before. Yeah. And these answers a little bit better than mine, you know?
Check. Also, the YouTube channel. Yep. We got a YouTube channel. It's called Jocko Podcast. And that's where Echo puts the videos and the video excerpts and enhanced video excerpts. So you can check that out too, which is cool. And yeah, do that.
It's good way to support for sure. Subscribe to, you already said iTunes and stuff, Google Play. Yeah, so that's a good way to support.
Said that.
Seemingly an easy, obvious thing, but it is a good way to support legitimately.
Check.
Also, onit.com/Jocko, by the way. Okay. What is on it? We all know what on it is. But if you don't know, it's where you can get the best fitness gear. It's where I get all mine. I was going to get a bag.
Oh, like the sandbag things?
Yeah.
I got one.
Okay. Yeah.
They're good. They're good.
Yeah, like, so, you know, it was, I forget if it was
good for the big functional strength.
Yeah, like, right? You know how,
you know what I got to figure out though? Remember that bag that they had up in Maine, the 200-pound bag? I got to figure out what the deal is with that so I can rehearse.
It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
If you got to make a game time adjustment to do it, you'd be like, okay, this is hard.
Do you have to press it?
No.
Just clean it.
Yeah, put it over your shoulder. You have to shoulder it.
Yeah, okay.
So the thing is, and tell me if this is cheating. Okay, so to lay out the scenario, there's a 200-pound bag of gravel.
So that's tight. What it is.
Yeah,
okay.
200 pounds, which is heavy.
No handles.
No handles. It's a sack of gravel. Not a canvas like made out of the gi either. It's like
nylon.
Yeah. Right. So it's real flowy. 200 pounds. You'd say dead weight. It's extra dead weight. Anyway. So, and you got to just put it on your shoulder. That's it. Pick it up off the ground, put it on your shoulder. So, tell me if this is cheating. So I did it, and I succeeded. But I not the first time. I tried it once, and I was like, whoa, and you know, it falls down. And I'm like, man. But Mike, one of the guys there, he said, hey, when you lift it up first, you got to keep the weight on the forward part. Because, you know, when you lift it up, it kind of divides the bag kind of into, because it flows. You know, the gravel kind of flows to the ends or whatever. You got to divide it up. But when you divide it up, you got to keep more of the weight more on the front part. Not on the part closer to you, because it'll just flow down and it just doesn't work. His explanation way more short than that. But so is that cheating? So it's like, all right, I did it, and then and
then it was easy.
No, it's not easy.
Oh, okay, so it's hard.
It's hard. Like if you practice or something, it'll be easy.
Of course.
I mean, you're strong enough to do it for sure. But
the technique, there's some technique
to get it up there. Yeah, it's hard. Check. But nonetheless, my point was with the bag is, you know how, okay, you know, you lift a bunch of weights and this guy or me or whatever, we can bench a lot, squat a lot. But then, you know, when you're doing like yard work and you got to, I don't know, shovel a bunch of dirt in a wheelbarrow and you're picking it up and you're trying to lift it up this little hill and you're like, bro.
Well, it's like when you roll with guys that work construction. They have legit strength that comes to the other side.
Exactly right. So I'm like, man, I'm gonna buy one of these bags and just sort of like have it part of the workout. Yeah. You know, do some hills or something with it. You know,
do it.
Carry it with one man. I don't know. But anyway, onit.com/. There's a lot of cool stuff on there. Bases and kettlebells and whatnot.
All kinds of good stuff. Psychological Warfare album. You can get on iTunes, Google Play, MP3. We're working on the second one. If you got something you want me to address psychologically, let me know now. And I'll start putting together a little list. And we'll get it into your brain psychologically.
Yep.
And speaking of psychological, how's this for psychological right here? Hold on. Here we go. With this. You know what that is? That right there? That's Jocko white tea in a can. Yep. You can get it. You can get it at Amazon right now. It's available in Canada too. And it tastes delicious, which is fine. You want things that taste good, that's good. It's good for you. Replace the crap that you drink. The energy drinks that you drink, get rid of them.
Yeah.
Get this instead. You will absolutely feel better. You'll be more healthy. And bonus, you'll be able to deadlift 100% guaranteed 8,000 pounds. So that right there is good enough. While you're on Amazon as well, you can get some books. We got the Way of the Warrior Kid books. Just check them out. That's my statement. Check them out. Warrior Kid books. Feedback's unbelievable. Kids getting after it once they read those books. The Discipline Equals Freedom Field Manual. How to get after it. It's a manual on how to get after it.
Yeah, and kind of stay after it.
And stay after it, yes.
The way.
Because if you get after it for a couple hours and then that's all the getting after it you're doing, that's not going to help you.
Yep.
If you crack that book open, though, you'll see. Just crack it open. If you want to listen to it, you can get it as an album with tracks, iTunes, Google Play, all that. It's not on Audible. Mm-hmm. Extreme Ownership's the other book. It's been out for a while. People still buying it. And it's about leadership. It's about combat leadership and how to use combat leadership principles in your business, in your life, and obviously in combat as well. And then on top of that, Leif and I have a new book that I keep saying that we just finished it. I think it was Tim Ferriss I heard say, like, he was writing a book and he goes, yeah, I'm done with my book. And one of his friends that was a writer was like, okay, cool, you're 50% there. And that's the truth. Yeah. When you get done writing it, you're 50% there because there's a ton of work that you still have to do. I finished a round of edits yesterday. And what's cool is reading the book. I'm super stoked on the book and people are going to get a lot out of it. It's called The Dichotomy of Leadership. It comes out September 25th. My publisher, who listens to this podcast, who hears me say these things, doesn't get it. They're not going to order enough books. They're like, well, you never know, and we don't want to take too much risk. Order the book now so that you get a book when it comes out. First edition. You don't want second edition, third edition. That's lifetime evidence that you weren't in the game. Don't let it happen. And then when you meet me and you're like, hey, can you sign my book? And I was like, cool, yeah, I'll sign your second edition book. Sadness. The first edition, I'll be like, hey, we go back. Yeah. We go back.
So like the second edition, you'll just sort of sign your name and then with a line or something. But the first edition, you'll sign your name and be like,
I'm glad you were in the game and you were to support that whole one and we're here. We're together. Oh, second edition, how you doing? Poser. Are you a poser if you get the second edition?
No, man.
Maybe. I don't know. Well, anyways, all kidding aside, that's coming out September 25th. If you want to get that Dichotomy of Leadership, how to balance all those little things you got to balance as a leader. That's what you got to do. Speaking of leadership, if you need leadership training inside your organization, Echelon Front, echelonfront.com. We solve problems through leadership. It's me, it's Leif, JP, Dave. Got Mike Sorelli on board.
Boom.
Got Flynn Cochran on board.
Boom.
We're expanding. We're growing.
Yeah.
We're getting after it. And we got the muster. The muster's coming up in October. San Francisco, 17th and 18th. All the other musters have sold out. I think we're dropping a video. Probably already. The video will be dropped.
Yeah, it's already.
Yeah, I know, but it hasn't been circulated.
Right.
So we're going to circulate little what do you call that? Advertisement video?
Yeah, technically.
Informational video?
Informational. It's more kind of like as if to say, put it as accurately as possible. It's to say, hey, look, the countdown for this thing, because we all knew it's coming. It's number 6. There's number 5 before that.
Yeah.
Hey, we knew it's coming. Hey, the countdown to this event is official. It's official. We're counting the days down right now.
Cool.
It's months, but
San Francisco, October 17th and 18th. All the other ones have sold out. If you want to come, better get registered. ExtremeOwnership.com. And also we got the roll call September 21st in Dallas, Texas. That is for uniformed personnel, police, firefighters, law enforcement, military, border patrol, paramedics, first responders, all of them. We put that together so that you can get out there one day real quick. Leadership seminar for you all. So same thing, registered ExtremeOwnership.com. Come and get some. And if you want to continue this conversation with us virtually until you see us live at the muster, or you see us live at the roll call, or you see us live in August at the immersion camp up in Maine, then during the time where you're waiting to see us live, guess what? We can still kind of carry on this conversation virtually via the interwebs, Twitter, Instagram, and the Facebook. Echo's at Echo Charles, and I am at Jocko Willink.